Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next edition of the Losers Lounge podcast. It's time to review the events of WWE Crown Jewel, which took place this past Saturday at the Marcel Park Stadium in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And I must say, it was a hell of a show. Quite a lot of cool things. Even had a press conference prior to that, and that was actually entertaining. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome two-time Losers Lounge Member of the Year and Optimistic Hall of Famer, the Heelist of Ballers.
Hello. I'm here. I just got out of the forest because weird shit went down. That's all I'm gonna say. Nothing bad, but just weird shit. I had to go out there and get stuff. I almost got pricked, and then I almost got into poison ivy, and now my allergies are acting up. So yeah, it's weird. But it's been a weird day. But it's great to be here on the podcast once again. Well, Christian, should we get into it?
We shall indeed. Crown Jewel was absolutely a major success, wouldn't you say?
Yes, sir. It really was.
Eight fantastic matches, and I want to say the press conference that happened prior to the night before was entertaining to watch.
Very fun.
Yeah, here's the thing. They didn't show everybody who was there, but they showed quite a number, and it was actually well done, in my view. I liked how we had Omos palm Michael Cole in the face.
Yeah, that was, dude, when I saw the size of that man's hand, I'm like, that's huge.
You would not. You're a short person, right?
Yes, sir.
So you would not. Your head would probably be entirely covered by Omos's hand.
Dude, my head be a basketball compared to like his hand.
I could just imagine him dribbling with your head now. Boom, 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 boom.
That'd be a lot of brain damage, so I'm not gonna do that. No thanks.
I mean, if your head's already severed off, you're already dead.
Well, that's true. So I won't feel a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
true.
of course, I must say I liked the whole thing on that press conference with Roman Reigns and Logan Paul.
I did too.
Not shocked that we saw Jake Paul, huh?
No shock.
It's only going to be a matter of time before... Here's the thing. We'll get to Logan Paul and everything else in the future, but I think it's only going to be a matter of time before Jake takes a turn.
Hey, I like his brother, so maybe things will change for me.
See, Paul Brothers as tag team champions in 2023. At SummerSlam or something like that.
I'd be cool with it.
Reasons we picked that, we'll talk about that in a moment.
Oh,
but
yeah.
folks, well, not in a moment because that might take a while, but the actual show began with the confrontation with Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. Round 2 between these two behemoths.
Yeah, round 2.
As we know, Brock Lesnar cost Bobby Lashley the United States Championship against Seth freaking Rollins. Please take that name out of his name, please. Thank you very much.
Yes, please.
And that led to this confrontation. As we all know, the Royal Rumble, Bobby Lashley beat Lesnar because Brock was cost by Roman Reigns.
Yep.
So we figured, round 2, this is the time for the big moment where there's going to be a nice and fair finish. I mean, it kind of was fair, but this is a very interesting turn of events.
It really was.
It really was an interesting turn of events because Brock Lesnar escaped Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, he barely squeezed through.
Yeah, prior to the match, Bobby Lashley assaulted him, beat the crap out of him, and it was actually pretty cool to see that. And,
Never seen Brock get manhandled so much like that.
Yeah, then I like how when the match started, the bell rang, and Bobby instantly started doing some spears, and I had so many. I thought that was a Goldberg thing.
Dude, I thought I was gonna end the same way with Goldberg.
Yeah, because it was like match starts spear. I thought it was gonna be more spears, then the Hurt Lock and Brock would pass out. However, it's a good thing that Brock at least got offense, hit a few suplexes, hit an F5. But it sucks that, it was mostly just their finishing moves again.
Yes, sir.
6-minute match. However, I will say the 2 minutes that Brock was locked in on the Hurt Lock, it was actually very interesting. I like how Brock's like, I will not give up.
Exactly.
And Brock had a good way of getting out of the Hurt Lock by, jumping to the top rope and pushing himself up.
Top rope and he rolls through. I'm like, holy crap.
Problem is, though, because of their sizes and everything, he did not properly land through it.
Yeah.
Which caused Bobby to be in an awkward position where he got pinned, but his shoulders were somehow off the canvas.
Yep.
But that's how Brock Lesnar won. He won by escaping, which we all know. I predict right now, round 3 at WrestleMania.
Please.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. People are already saying Survivor Series, but I'm like, no.
No.
Here's the thing, with this whole thing, first round, Royal Rumble. Second round, Crown Jewel. Round 3, WrestleMania. This is the rubber fight.
Yep.
And that, in my opinion, would be the perfect perfect form of action with those two guys at WrestleMania. Because let's be honest, with a major show that we got rumored up for WrestleMania in Los Angeles, there probably isn't that much that either man can do.
Exactly.
And this would be amazing. I mean, I have no problem with it whatsoever. Matter of fact, I want that to happen.
Same, bro.
And here's like Brock put Bobby Lashley over despite winning.
He did.
Bobby was quite the force to be reckoned with. He attacked him after the match. Brock may have escaped with the win, but Bobby was the last one standing. So it seems to me like in their first encounter, Brock Lesnar did not get the win. The second one, Brock escaped with a win and then got his ass kicked afterward. It seems like Bobby Lashley's been the dominating force in this entire thing, and that would be actually an amazing story to tell leading into WrestleMania in 2023.
Oh, yeah, dude, for real.
Yeah. Overall, what did you think of the match?
Well, it was a lot better than the first match at the Royal Rumble. Like I predicted, this match was way more physical, way more violent. Bobby Lashley, I've never seen him more, pun intended, dominant than he was here. And it led into, of course, something that happened the night after on Raw. But I will say, I think round 3 is going to be even more better. And they're one apiece, which makes it even more better. And people were complaining, oh my gosh, well, this was horrible. This is a bad finish. I'm like, no, it's part of the story. Think. And I really, really enjoyed how they did the finish because it protected both guys in the finish. And I really loved it. We need more matches like this. I love big, beefy men slapping me. And this is one of my one of those things where it's like, wow, like to go out there and see the two big hosses fight it out. And even in, defeat, Lashley still got, his revenge afterwards and pretty much destroyed Lesnar afterwards and killed him and sent him on his way.
That's one way to put it. Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
I will say I am amazed at how much they were able to actually pull that off. And I won't lie, I wasn't exactly the biggest fan of the way it ended and everything. If they want to preserve the story, there probably could have been a better way that they could have done it. However, I do like that we haven't had a clean finish yet in either of these matches.
Good.
So that's why I'm thinking at WrestleMania there will be a clean finish and a clear-cut winner.
Oh, yeah.
Well, whoever that will be, well, hopefully we'll be able to talk about that next year, right?
Yes, sir.
Because I love talking about these things on the podcast.
Yeah, oh yeah, especially WrestleMania.
Yep. In the meantime, though, we're going to move on to the next match, and this surprised me, actually. Surprised me with some good and some bad things. That's the Women's Tag Team Championship. The things that surprised me for the good thing was it was a good match. Decent enough. There you go. Alexa Bliss and Asuka, the new champions, defended against Damage Control. But prior to the match, Alexa was being interviewed, and what happened on the screen?
Bray Wyatt.
I guarantee he has not forgotten about what Alexa did to The Fiend.
Nope.
It's something we all wish we could have forgotten, but
I
will admit, I like how Alexa Bliss is likely a target here.
I am too. They're throwing subtle hints out there, and it's pretty cool.
Yep. So Alexa and Asuka were set to defend against Damage Control, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai. And prior to this, here's like, actually, this may have been the next night and everything, but I want to say,
go for it.
I absolutely love the Japanese argument.
Oh, that was hilarious.
With Io Sky and Asuka, that was amazing. I saw, especially when we see the translated version. And then it just ends with Io Sky saying, bitch, which was translated to Japanese.
Yeah, it was. I'm like, anyone can understand that word, but okay.
That's hilarious. Completely. I mean, there could be a lot of Japanese people who saw that just didn't understand that word because they don't understand English. I mean, that is possible.
Oh, yeah. That's very true.
So I will say that I really enjoyed the Women's Tag Team Championship match because it was actually, it went on for like almost 13 minutes. It was actually not that bad. Both teams went back and forth, had some impressive double team maneuvers, and, well, then there's Nikki Cross.
Yes, she's just insane.
Yeah. You know what makes her extremely insane?
What's that?
She traveled all the way across the world just to hit Alexa with one move and run away.
And she never returned.
Yep. I gotta tell you, that's dedication of being a psychopath. As a result, Damage Control are now 2-time Women's Tag Team Champions. They're getting tossed around like Charlotte and Sasha with the Raw Women's title in 2016.
Yeah, don't remind me of that.
Yeah. The titles were vacant when Sasha Banks and Naomi walked out. There was that that tournament where all the teams practically don't exist anymore.
Yep.
Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah, a team that also doesn't exist anymore, held it for like 2 weeks, lost them to Damage Control. They held it for like 6 weeks. They lost into Alexa Bliss and Asuka, who lost them back to Damage Control 5 days later. What in the hell?
It's called booking, Christian. It's called WWE booking 24/7.
Yeah, speaking of 24/7, well.
Let's give our moment of silence here, Christian.
All right, a moment of silence, folks, for the deactivation of the 24/7 championship.
Should.
Hooray! Hallelujah!
Yes! Finally.
Hey, at least we had a second of silence.
See, that counts.
Yep. When Nikki Cross tried to throw it in the trash can, but then, well, the trash can rejected it because even the garbage can doesn't want it.
Exactly.
I will admit, though, last couple of years, yeah, should have been deactivated a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it should have been.
But 2019, oh my god, that was awesome.
I remember when it came into fruition, dude, and I'm like, okay, this could be just like the Hardcore Championship, and it slightly was, and they went off the rails today, and it failed. So that's on, I don't know, many people's parts.
What's really on them is not allowing R-Truth to keep it.
Yeah.
How great would it have been if Nikki Cross actually successfully threw the title in the garbage? Camera panned back to it, and then there's R-Truth just poking his head out.
Ooh, that would have been great.
And then he's like, my baby. And then he just slowly descends back into the garbage.
Well, that would have been a fitting end to the title.
Yeah, it would, because, well, it practically started with Truth on day one. Or even then, you know who should have gotten it? Titus O'Neil.
Yeah, Titus was the first champ, so it should have ended with him.
Yeah, he was the first champion just by grabbing it in that scramble. If he ended the title with it by grabbing it out of the garbage, then boom.
For real, dude.
And then as Titus is like, I guess I am officially champion, he gets rolled up by Mick Foley.
Yeah,
Mickey
Mouse Foley.
Who finally takes the title home.
Yep, and then breaks it and destroys it and then does whatever he wants with it.
And then there's a new hardcore title.
Yeah, they reinstate the Hardcore Championship.
But anyways, back to the topic of this. What honestly was your opinion of the women's tag team title match from Crown Jewel?
I liked it for what it was. I honestly knew going into it that we were going to get new champs because like I said, like on Monday last week with them winning the championships, I'm like, well, one thing. First of all, it's because it's October. And I was thinking, okay, they're going to do this just because it's the end of the month and just have some fun. And it was Halloween, so it's like, hey, let's just do it for Halloween. And also, like, Control, I think there's other reason why they're champions, and it'll become clear very soon. Very, very, very soon. But, okay, folks, Sasha and Naomi are coming back very soon. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. But that's one of the other reasons why I think they won the championships back. And, yeah, does it suck for Alexa and Asuka? Yeah, it does. But let's be honest, those belts are more irrelevant than ever at this point. So I honestly don't care. It's time to get I'm saying this. I guess you got to get a mid-card championship out here. If that's going to do it, then that's going to do it. Heck, the NXT women's tab belts are more relevant. And that's saying something because those belts are irrelevant, kind of. I know I just retracted my statement, but there you go.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is get mid-card championship for the women. Please.
I'll be totally down with that. I mean, they ended the 24/7 title. Now there's room.
Yeah, people are saying an Intercontinental Championship or United States title. No. Make something different.
Well, whatever you want to call it. Regardless, it'd be a title for the women.
Oh, yeah.
I will say, like, how great would it have been if Nikki Cross tossed the 24/7 title in the trash and then Damage Control did the same thing with the tag titles?
Dude, I'd be celebrating. Honestly. Yeah, those belts are irrelevant.
They really are.
Mm-hmm.
If you got no tag team division, you have no reason to keep the tag team titles.
Yeah, take hints, people. Take hints. Because if you don't have a tag... Look what Impact's doing. Impact is doing it right. They've been doing it right for years, but what do I know, right?
How to send a bill?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
All right, we're going to move on to the next match. This is very interesting. The steel cage match between Karrion Kross and Drew McIntyre. And I will say, props to Drew McIntyre. He worked that night with a severe case of the flu.
Yeah, he didn't look like he had the flu.
He didn't have to go there. He was actually said that we could make an alternate option for you and postpone it to maybe the Raw or whenever you feel better. But Drew demanded that. It's like, no, I can do this. So he makes the entire flight all the way to Saudi Arabia, promotes the event, and has the cage match while fighting the flu.
What a guy.
I mean, Karrion Kross, also, they had to make sure that he was okay with that. And, of course, he was cool with it.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, props to Drew McIntyre on his dedication for that. At least, thankfully, it was the flu and not COVID.
For real, bro.
Yeah, otherwise then it would be out of his hands.
Mm-hmm.
And I must say, like, Karrion Kross's entrance is looking more like Scarlett's entrance.
Yeah, pretty much. They're focusing more on... Oh, wait, I'll get to Scarlett in a bit, because I got something to say about that.
Yeah, Karrion is more of, like, you know, the manager in this entrance. There was a time when I rewatched that for a moment, and did you ever see that during the entrance, Scarlett was, like, almost at the ring, and Karrion wasn't even halfway down the ramp, so he was, like, far away like an ant.
Yeah, for real.
So I'm like, either Scarlett should probably slow down a bit, or Karrion should speed up. Because you're going down a long...
Let's cross his speed. He loves walking slow.
Like, you're going down a long ramp here, so one of you should either speed up or slow down.
Exactly.
Drew McIntyre got the win, despite the fact that he got maced again.
Yeah, I want to talk about that, by the way. Can we stop with the stupid interferences already? Please. They're getting really, 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 really annoying.
Bloodline-like?
Huh?
I was about to say, you know, they're becoming really, 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 and I was about to finish by saying bloodline.
Yes, really bloodline. Even past bloodline. Like, good gosh, can we stop with the interferences? From heels in general, like from managers in general, like, can we slow that down, please? Can Cross, like, win on his own? No? Okay, then. I mean, I'm tired of it.
Yeah,
I was literally screaming, Scarlett, stop. Can we not do this crap?
Yeah, such a shame, of course, that Karrion Kross, when he wanted Extreme Rules, it was his first pay-per-view match on the main roster, and he lost like that. I mean, he won, sorry, with Scarlett's interferences. And now, even despite Scarlett's interference, this time it actually cost Karrion Kross, because, you know, Scarlett closed the door, locked it, and said, "Hey, I got the key, now you can't get out." Drew's like, all right, climbs the cage.
I was waiting for Drew to claymore the cage. Well, that's all I was thinking. Like, he's going to claymore the cage and get out. Nope.
That would have been badass, but instead this just showed how dumb Scarlett is.
Yeah, pretty much.
And can Scarlett please go back into the ring? That'd be nice.
Yeah, for real.
Because she's a great wrestler. I've seen her perform.
She's good.
Yeah, like the whole thing, like, I understand being a manager to Karrion Kross because that's your legitimate husband, but at the same time, you know, Becky Lynch is not Seth freaking Rollins' manager.
Yeah, never, let's not do that.
Yeah, when they were together, they were tag team partners and competed together, rather than one of them just manages the other.
Correct.
Even if that was kind of, you know, cringe to watch.
Gross.
It at least worked out with that end of days on Becky Lynch.
No comment.
Man, that was fun. But I will say that it's about time that Scarlett's interferences cost Karrion Kross. Maybe this will allow Karrion to realize, yeah, you shouldn't be doing this. I can beat him on my own.
Exactly.
Because all this is showing that Karrion just can't get the job done against Drew. And if he can't get the job done against Drew McIntyre without the interference of Scarlett, how does anyone expect him to handle Roman Reigns?
Exactly.
Or anyone else now?
Mm-hmm.
It kind of downgrades Karrion Kross to the point where he's just shown to be a weakling.
Sadly, yeah, but I love Kross, but it's true.
Obviously, this is an improvement of him wearing a gladiator outfit, but at least, you know, for that gladiator outfit, he was winning matches on his own, even if they were, like, big squash matches and everything. But I'm just saying, when it matters the most, he can't get the job done, even though, look back down in NXT, he beat people like Finn Balor, he beat Samoa Joe. Oh, wait, no, he didn't beat Samoa Joe, he lost to him, I forgot.
Yeah, he lost to Joe, yeah.
He beat Tommaso Ciampa almost instantly.
Yeah, he did.
Won that fatal 5-way at In Your House 2021. That was impressive.
Yep.
All on his own without the interferences of Scarlett.
Yes, sir.
But now when he's on the main roster and he's going up against Drew McIntyre, he can only get the job done when Scarlett interferes, and now there's a second time. She interferes, and he still loses.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's annoying.
So it's really not working out. And, of course, for Drew McIntyre's case, you know, yeah, he was fighting with the flu, but this is a very sad fact. This was his first pay-per-view win since WrestleMania. I'm not even kidding. Like WrestleMania 38 when he beat Happy Corbin. If you look back at WrestleMania Backlash, he was with RK Bro, lost to the Bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward then after that, you know, at Hell in a Cell. Drew McIntyre did not compete at Hell in a Cell because pretty much nobody from SmackDown did. Lost the Money in the Bank ladder match. SummerSlam, he wasn't even competing there. He just made a cameo appearance. Clash of the Castle, lost to Roman Reigns, unfortunately, in the Undisputed title. Then at Extreme Rules, lost to Karrion Kross in the strap match. This is Drew McIntyre's first pay-per-view win since WrestleMania. But the fact that he was able to actually keep himself on a relevant path shows that he can get the job done even if he's not winning. I mean, look at Seth Rollins.
Yeah, look at Seth Rollins right now.
Constantly losing on pay-per-views. Maybe getting the occasional win on pay-per-view, but most of the time Seth is losing. But yet he still keeps himself in a relevant place. Same thing with AJ Styles.
Oh, people say AJ's buried.
You can't bury AJ Styles.
You can't.
I mean, well, you could try, but I don't think it would work.
It's not going to work.
I mean, he was once literally buried by The Undertaker.
I still can't believe he was Taker's final opponent. That's still wow.
Is it windy where you're at?
Yeah, I'm outside right now because the family's a little loud, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's pretty windy out there. It's actually windy over here, too.
Well, you're not in Chicago, so it's not the Windy City. Well, neither am I, so...
Yeah, you're in Alabama. I'm in Toronto.
Yep.
All right, well, folks, we're going to move on to the next match. And speaking of AJ Styles, this is a 6-man tag team match as the OC, AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson faced off against the Judgment Day.
Judgment Day.
And this is a very interesting thing. How crazy is that? Rey Mysterio is not in Saudi Arabia, but Dominic is. This is one of the first occasions where, one of them makes the long trip, but the other does not.
That is true. Rey's been in Saudi before.
Yep, so, he has. However, he wasn't there at this one. He wasn't there at this one because, well, he didn't have a scheduled match.
Yeah, he got chopped against Gunther in a very banger of a match.
Banger after banger after banger.
You're dang right, dog.
That's how it works. And this was also, in my opinion, a pretty good banger, that 6-man tag action.
My gosh, it was so much fun.
The OC and the Judgment Day, or should we say it was a 4-on-3 handicap match because there's Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
I will say...
Yeah, Christian? I'll let you go first.
Dominic Mysterio actually did good in that match.
Yes, just keep him away from the microphone because the dude legit freaking sucks on the mic.
Yeah.
Please.
I will say, I think it was great to see the OC, back in full force again. It felt like 2019 all over again, or 2016 all over again.
Well, that's what I was waiting for, when they got back. It's how are they going to be treated under Triple H? And boom, they're right back to where they started from.
Yeah, the fact that they're allowing Carl Anderson to compete despite being a champion for New Japan Pro Wrestling, that's amazing.
Speaking of New Japan, shout out to Michael Cole. Because that dude out here mentioning the Bullet Club and all that, and I marked out, dog. I'm like, oh my god, yeah, he's mentioned the Bullet Club. Yeah, it's so freaking cool.
I'll be honest.
It's so rare we hear that stuff. So.
I'll be honest, that wasn't a big deal to me.
Oh, I know it wasn't, but my guy led the Bullet Club, so that's all that matters to me.
Was one of the leaders anyway.
He founded it, so.
But even then, yeah, the Bullet Club is dead these days.
Yeah, pretty much is
it's
dead.
It's all right to talk about things that are dead.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. It's only a matter of time before they're actually going to start mentioning AEW by name. And at which point Tony Khan's just going to stand around there and still take that fucking shit.
Yes, he is. He's going to take that fucking shit and he's going to lay down.
He's going to look around all confused.
Like usual.
I still can't believe he did that. He's saying, I'm not going to stand here and take this fucking shit. He sounded like he was suppressing a sneeze. Then he's looking around all confused.
And his eyes got even more water than usual.
That's gonna be on my.
Come on.
That's gonna be on my Christmas card. I will say.
There you go.
It's kind of a good thing, in my opinion, that the Judgment Day got the win because, as a team, they have not really been getting success since the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view.
Nope.
And that was with Edge.
I miss Edge and Judgment Day. I know some people didn't like it, but I myself freaking loved it. I digged it.
I enjoyed it very much. As a matter of fact, if you think about it, of course, the Judgment Day in the later matches on SummerSlam lost to the Mysterios when it was Finn Balor as the leader, lost at Clash at the Castle, only got the win at Extreme Rules because it was a one-on-one with Finn Balor and Edge, but finally at Crown Jewel for the first time in 6-man tag action, the Judgment Day actually got the win under the tutelage of Finn Balor.
Yes, of course it had my boy and his crew so well.
Of course it ended up happening as a result of, Rhea Ripley's interference.
Oh, don't worry. They have backup.
Yep, they have backup in the form of the returning Mia Yim.
Yep. No joke. I thought it was going to be Raquel Gonzalez.
You mean Raquel Rodriguez?
whatever.
But she's over on
There you
SmackDown, unless, of course, they would have moved her over to Raw.
I would not be surprised.
But it's good to see Mia Yim back in action.
It is. It
She
is.
was
Pretty cool.
always
She had a big reaction.
she was always a favorite of Triple H as well.
Yeah, she is.
And it's a good thing. This is Mia Yim. This ain't Reckoning.
No, we don't talk about that stable or that crew at all.
Though she did reference it, saying she's back for some retribution, and then she laughed
Yeah, she did.
and said, "Have a good day." Overall, though, I enjoyed that. So we're gonna move on to the next match.
Oh yeah, I
This
enjoyed
one
it too.
was,
And plus, I freaking loved how Finn Balor pinned AJ Styles. I can't wait till we get that one-on-one match again.
Oh, I'd be totally fine if that was at Survivor Series, but the way I'm looking at it, the way I see it, that's probably going to be an 8-person mixed tag match at Survivor Series.
I think so too.
Yeah, because they're not going to do War Games with them. No.
No.
I personally believe the War Games is going to involve the Bloodline.
Acknowledge the Bloodline.
It really should, honestly, because they're the top thing. You want to put the top thing in there. Just like for the women's War Games match, you're putting your top thing in the women's division in there.
Exactly. And the Bloodline on the freaking poster, which looks freaking sick.
Yeah, put the 5 members of the Bloodline. There's 5 members. That counts, so.
Exactly.
Again, in my opinion, the 3 members are Brawling Brutes and New Day. Now that would be a hell of a War Games match because it makes sense. They're feuding, and Triple H did say that the War Games matches will be storyline based, and that's the perfect one.
Apparently, War Games is like this could be permanent for a while. So,
I'm totally cool with that as well.
I am too.
All right, the next match that we're going to move on to, that is Braun Strowman versus Omos.
I didn't pay attention, honestly.
I will admit, though, I thought it was weird that, Omos constantly repeated everything he was saying throughout the match. Like, you hear that? You hear that? You hear that?
Yeah, it's like he forgot his lines or whatever.
Yeah. And then, he dominated practically the majority of all of the match and lost to a single running power slam.
I thought they were going to collapse the ring. They didn't.
Yeah, they did not. But I was actually shocked when Braun Strowman suffered the most damage, got back up, hit a running power slam, and that was it.
Oh, yeah. That was very weird.
The tough part is getting Omos off his feet, but once you got him off his feet, pinning him is easy.
Oh, yeah, for real.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. A little bit.
So, I will say there's not really much we can say about that match, though.
Not really. I mean, it was there.
The monster of all monsters got the job done. Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah. Next. I prefer a different Braun anyways in this company.
Yeah. Wait, which Braun are we talking about?
The NXT champion.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the different version of Braun Strowman. I was about to say, wait, what different version? The Wyatt family?
Nope.
All right, we're going to move on to the next match. This was actually kind of a disappointment in my opinion, but it was still decent. That was the Undisputed Tag Team title match with the Usos and the Brawling Brutes. I'm like, they could have done way better.
I saw a little bit. I saw it towards the end. I had to get out of there for a little bit, but I did come back for like some of the match. From my side, I enjoyed it. There were lots of deer falls in it.
There was, yeah, but it just felt like, a lot of the times they weren't exactly performing their best.
They weren't being oozy.
Speaking of that, Jimmy Uso takes one single, roll up or something like that, and then all of a sudden he's like, you know what, let's get out of here.
Exactly.
When is the last time the Usos tried to walk out during one of their title matches during this reign?
Never,
exactly. That's why I was like, this is not looking good for their part.
No, it's not. No, apparently one of them broke their hand, so...
Well, that wasn't at that show, obviously, but... Yeah, Jey Uso may possibly have broken his hand. We haven't heard exactly any updates, despite them getting an MRI on Monday. But Jey Uso did compete on Raw, so I'm assuming he's okay.
Yep, they better be okay, because they're facing New Day soon.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, they would not... I don't think they would have allowed Jey Uso to compete in the ring if he wasn't okay. And he had that MRI prior to the show, so he must have gotten the clearance.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, they would have said, okay, let's just have Jimmy Uso probably just to represent Jimmy and Solo versus... Elias and like Matt Riddle or something. I don't know.
Yep.
However, I will say that promo with the Usos and the New Day though afterwards
It was good.
That was so good. And then Matt Riddle ruined it by showing
He had to ruin
up.
it. Yeah, he had to ruin everything.
That was one of the very few occasions where I was actually disappointed to hear bro. And I'm like, what? Oh, come on.
Exactly.
He's not even involved in this.
Yeah, he wasn't. I'm like, dude, what are you doing out here?
Matt Riddle, after his feud with Seth Rollins ended, he's got like no direction now.
Nope.
They're probably just waiting for Randy Orton to come back from his back injury.
Yes, sir.
Which honestly, I hope he's okay.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, there's not much we could say about the Brawling Brutes versus the Usos because it was your average tag team title match. It was okay, but it kind of lacked a little bit, and plus it wasn't exactly that long. It was like only 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
However, I will admit Butch put on a great performance when, you know, he had that triangle choke locked in and was bending Jimmy's fingers at the same time.
Which I'm afraid one day he's going to legit snap one's finger, but, you know, that's probably happened, so.
Well, thankfully, like, you know, he's really good at what he does in that case of joint manipulation. Yeah. So, well, folks, we're going to move on to the next match. This was a last woman standing match for the Raw Women's Championship as Bianca Belair defending against Bayley again. And this was the moment where we said, all right, this is Bayley's last chance here because if she doesn't get the job done, then honestly, a lot of her credibility as a heel will fall and be diminished. Guess what? And what happened? Her credibility as a heel fell and diminished. I mean, I get that they're going to be in War Games and everything, but yeah, that noise that Willie just did.
Right down the toilet.
Bingo, like that.
Right down the freaking toilet. I rolled my eyes and I'm like, really? Really, WWE? Really?
Here's the thing.
I'm getting tired of Superwoman out here. Gosh.
I mean, I already have a lot of problems with this as a result because, you know, you're trying to make Bianca Belair look like the strongest. I get that's the EST. That's kind of what the whole point is. But is you're making others look weak at the same time.
Yes, very.
And not to mention, this was actually Bayley's chance. Bayley had endless amount of chances to win, and she never capitalized on it.
Nope.
I had a number of pet peeves that I wanted to get off my chest about this match.
Go ahead, Christian. I'll let you have the floor for this one.
For one thing, Bayley threw Bianca into the corner one time at the start of the match and said count. And I'm like, wait, what? You actually think that's going to keep Bianca down for the count of 10?
That was stupid.
That's not going to work. That's not going to keep her down for the count of 10. And not to mention, if that wasn't bad enough, then there was more chances where she's under the ring. It's like, what do we got here? We got chairs, we got tables, we got ladders. It looks like a chain, maybe some, it looks like some thumbtacks, maybe some barbed wire. Oh, yeah, kendo stick. Perfect.
Yes, then they swung the kendo stick and it somehow perfectly stayed on the barricade.
I also thought it was weird when Bianca Belair moved out of the way when Bayley was going to swing the kendo stick. Bayley clearly saw that Bianca had moved, but still shows the swing where the target no longer was.
Yeah, that was weird.
Then if that was not weird enough, okay, then Bayley put Bianca against the stairs, which were against the ring, and put a ladder over it, which, by the way, the ladder was not even on the stairs.
No, it wasn't.
So Bianca was not trapped under there in the first place, and even if she was, she could have easily just crawled under the ring and escaped that way.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, she's just going to escape the other way. Nope, she stayed there.
Yeah, I'm like, she started popping in and out like one of those one of those games at the carnivals where you're trying to hit the frogs. Oh, yeah. I forgot what the hell it's called, but you know what game I'm talking about.
Whack-a-mole.
Yeah, whack-a-mole. There you go. Yeah, she's appearing in and out. I remember how Bayley punched her one time and she fell back in like a whack-a-mole.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That was funny. All right.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Other putt piece I got on this, Bayley could not set up a table properly.
No. Oh, we'll get to tables in a bit with this match. Oh, joy.
She also, was watching Bianca when Bianca was about to jump and do a crossbody on the outside of the ring and still got hit.
Yeah, very violently, too.
Which she could have honestly just sidestepped out of the way.
Yep.
My point on this is, it's one thing to make Bianca look good, but you can't make Bianca look good if you're making yourself look stupid.
Very, very, very stupid.
Bayley throughout that match was stupid.
Oh, yeah, and Damage Control didn't even show up out there. No, literally, it was just Bayley and Bianca. That was it. No interference at all.
I mean, for one thing, if they did interfere, there'd be the interference of Alexa and Asuka.
Exactly.
And for the other, they probably remembered, we tried to interfere last time at that ladder match, and she beat us up 3-on-1, so nope.
Exactly.
So there's that.
Yes.
And if that wasn't any worse, this was the worst one. When they got to the stage, they were fighting on the stage setup, and was it Bailey tossed Bianca into an equipment case and closed the lid, and I'm like, she didn't once think to either lock it, sit on it, or flip it upside down.
She just throws her in the case and it's like, okay, bye. And I'm like, lock the freaking thing.
Lock it, sit on it, flip it upside down, throw it against the wall, do something. Throw it off the stage for all I care.
Roll it down the freaking ramp. That's all I was waiting for.
I mean, if she did that, there was a big chance it would have fallen and probably killed Bianca, but yeah.
No, she would have survived.
So I'm just, see, that's why I'm just saying, like, that whole scenario, I was like, oh my god, lock the door, sit on it, flip it upside down, do one of those things, or maybe do all of those things.
And then while you're at it, put the ladder on top of the freaking thing, and that way she can't escape. But what do I know? It's WWE freaking booking, and I don't freaking understand this.
Well, I mean, the ladder was on the other side of the ring, way down below, so she probably wouldn't have time for that. But there's that to think, because I'm like, she's in the case. She didn't think to put her hands on the case until Bianca was about to, burst out of it.
Pop goes the weasel.
Yeah, and even then, that did not work out properly, because I'm like, okay, she just has her hands on it. Bianca could easily get out of it.
Exactly.
And maybe it could have been a cool moment if Bailey was at least was sitting on it or had her knees on it, so you could see Bianca lifting it up with Bailey on it, so to showcase her strength. That would have actually been cool.
No, but she just tosses her in there and leaves it. I'm like, what are you doing? And then to make matters worse, tell them what happens next. Oh joy.
She manages to find a golf cart somehow. I'm like, what the fuck was there a golf cart?
Where'd that come from?
I'm like, why the fuck is there a golf cart in this stadium at a wrestling show in the first place?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand the point of that, but yeah, there was a golf cart backstage. She started driving it towards Bianca, and then literally stopped way. Here's the thing: if Bianca did not move out of the way, Bailey would have stopped in front of her and still would not have hit her.
Exactly. She was driving like 2 miles per hour. I know y'all are thinking, oh, she can't really drive that fast. I know that, but still, make it look realistic, please.
I mean, hell, look what happened to Sammy Guevara when he got hit by a golf cart.
Sammy Guevara took that.
Or the time when Roman Reigns ran over Kevin Owens with a golf cart.
Kevin Owens took that.
That was like, and the way it was moving, I was like, holy shit.
Exactly.
That was brutal as hell. And now, in this case, Bianca's moving. Actually, Bailey's driving it so slow and then doesn't even get to her target when she stops the vehicle. Bianca did not even have to move out of the way. That made Bailey look even more stupid. Then Bianca decides to drive it down the ramp with Bailey on top. And I'm like, how the hell did Bailey not go sailing off of it, logically?
She was driving so fast down the ramp. I'm like, okay, there you go.
And then Bianca flipped Bailey through over the table, kind of hit the edge of it. And Bailey did not go through it. So Bianca had to pick her up and do a powerbomb through it. But by that point, if you have to do that after you fail the first time, the table crash does not look that good. That's just an apology.
Exactly.
I was like, oh, come on. This is just so fucking embarrassing. The only cool thing about it was Bianca Belair with that KOD onto the chair. I mean, that was the first time that Bianca looked great without Bailey looking stupid.
For real, dude.
And then there's the ending. Bianca Belair put Bailey sandwiched into a ladder and then pushed it under the ropes against the ring post. I'm like, Bailey could easily escape by pushing herself out and falling to the floor.
That's what I was thinking was going to happen. Okay, she's going to... There were clearly room for her to get out. Like...
There was so much room for her to get out, but she didn't. I'm only assuming the only reason she didn't get out was because she was being stupid throughout the whole match and didn't know what she was doing. So maybe that's the reason why it worked.
Maybe her feet were sandwiched in the freaking ladder. I'm like, dude, you just wiggle. Get out of it. Nope.
That was so embarrassing. That further destroyed Bailey's momentum because not only did she lose the match, but she looked stupid throughout the entire thing. And that is honestly worse than Bianca kicking your ass because she looks great.
Oh, on that night also, that made Damage Control look even more stupid than ever. Because they won the tag belts, yet Bailey can't win the women's title. Great job. Great booking, WWE, you idiots.
Not to mention, Damage Control would not have won it if it hadn't been for Nikki Cross.
Again, there you go.
I mean, why didn't Nikki Cross show up for that?
Exactly. Dude, for real.
What the hell was Nikki Cross throughout that?
What's the point? What's the point at this point? Oh, well, they're going to win at War Games. No, they're not.
Well, even if they do win at War, I'll be honest. Even if they do win at War Games, if they manage to get the win, what's next? Another Bianca versus Bailey match that ends probably on Christmas Day, and then Bianca retains yet again and celebrates, says "Merry Christmas, Happy New Year," and then we just move on from that to her next feud. I'm like, no. We're done with
No.
this.
We're dropping it. It's over.
After Survivor Series, sorry, but Damage Control should be done with Bianca Belair because Bayley's had 2 opportunities to win
and failed
and lost. Yeah, exactly. But then when in non-title matches, she got the pin on Bianca.
It doesn't make any sense. Oh, well, you guys need to be patient, all that kind of stuff. Man, we've been patient long enough.
We've been patient since fucking July when they showed up.
Good gosh, dude.
We're in November. We're in November now. And they've been losing.
2023 is almost here, people. Give me a freaking break about being patient. Gosh.
Yeah, the whole thing, like, Bianca Belair, fantastic athlete and everything. The big problem is they made her look great by making Bayley look stupid.
She's John Cena in the women's division. Yeah, I said it.
I mean, John Cena didn't exactly win by making his opponents look stupid, but I get what you mean.
That is very true.
At least John Cena's opponents actually looked awesome when they were losing to him.
I just don't understand, like, why you're doing this to control. Like, again, like, oh, well, you ought to be patient. Bayley's going to win the gold. Really? Is she really? Because she would have done it by now.
She definitely would have done it by now. Maybe this would have made the War Games match even cooler. Because you see, like,
exactly.
we got Damage Control, all 3 of them walking into War Games as champion. If they got the win, or if Bianca's team got the win, I'm like, all right, nice. Now we're going to set up one final women's title match between these two, probably around the Christmas time, because there's no pay-per-view in December. And there's no day 1 either. So I'm like, at that moment, I'm like, okay. I swear to God, they better not put Bianca Belair against Bayley at the goddamn Royal Rumble.
No.
Because if we do it, that's just going to be another situation where once again, Bianca just gets the win because Bayley looks stupid.
Yeah, Bianca's on that belt into WrestleMania. I pretty much ain't giving on that at that point. You know what? Do it.
Yeah. I'm at this point. I'm totally cool with it. Go ahead, put keep Bianca as the champion heading into WrestleMania, but just don't make her opponents look stupid when she's retaining the belts against her. Like whoever the hell. I want Bianca Belair to face Rhea Ripley at the Royal Rumble because Rhea Ripley is still owed a women's title match after what happened at Money in the Bank.
I might as well have Rhea Ripley dethrone Bianca. You have Dominic and Damian Priest be the tag champs. Then you have my boy becoming WWE champion. Then Judgment Day gets all the gold. But what do I know?
Well, unfortunately, I don't think that would work out. But
no one.
And at this rate, I'm tired of stables holding all the gold.
Yeah, Bloodline.
We've seen with the Bloodline. We've seen with the Undisputed Era. Now we're seeing it with Damage Control. It's happening way too much now.
Mm-hmm.
I get that you're trying to make something a most dominant force here, but this is not exactly going to be the right way to do it.
Logic, people. Use logic.
Boy, we had quite a lot to say about that, huh?
Yes. Just, we told you we weren't going to be nice about this.
Technically, we never did tell them that, but we never are nice about things we don't like. That's kind of how it works.
Exactly.
I guarantee there's going to be a lot more rant moments when we come to next week's podcast, or maybe the week after when we talk about AEW, which we're always ranting about.
Oh, joy.
I won't lie, though. I give them credit. They're actually doing good on the Full Gear build-up. I actually look forward to next week's podcast on that.
I am too. Looking forward to it, guys.
That's a first.
Yeah, for real. In a good while, at least.
All right, folks, we're going to move on to the main event. The fucking match of the night and potentially a candidate for match of the year. For the Undisputed Universal title, Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul. Oh, my God.
You know, people say Logan cannot wrestle. You know, people say Logan has no charisma. Go watch this match. No, Lily, go watch this match.
Yeah, it's like, we're totally cool if you don't like the guy. I mean, we don't exactly still like the guy that much either, but... I'm just saying, it's like, to say that Logan Paul can't compete and doesn't deserve to be in the big leagues is a flat out lie.
Yeah, you're literally lying to yourself if you think that. Like, no offense, but you're lying to yourself.
There's a lot of wrestlers I don't like, but I don't deny that they're charismatic.
Yeah, Cody. Anyways.
I won't lie, I
like put that out there.
Cody Rhodes, I actually started to get used to him a little bit.
There you go.
But yeah, I'm not going to kiss his ass or anything like a lot of people would.
Exactly.
All right. For the case of Roman Reigns, Logan Paul, can we say that Logan Paul using Bad News Barrett's podium was awesome?
Yeah, dude. I was like, bro, that's cool.
Wade Barrett even said it himself. I don't remember giving him permission to use my podium.
Yep.
And I will say, Logan Paul live streamed his entrance on Instagram.
Oh, so that's what he was doing. That's pretty cool.
It was streamed live on Instagram, and I didn't see it myself on the Instagram live stream, but I did see the aftermath and everything.
There you go.
So I will say, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this match very much because this was the perfect example of not just showcasing that Roman Reigns is a dominant force, but Logan Paul, honestly, is a force to be reckoned with. He belongs in the WWE. Every match he's had 3 matches this year. They've all been bangers.
LP along with Bad Bunny are probably 2 of my favorite celebrities in professional wrestling right now.
I'll honestly say I wouldn't mind if we see Logan Paul face Bad Bunny.
At SummerSlam, probably.
That'd be a banger. After banger.
That would be.
After banger.
We're saying a lot of bangers in this show. We apologize.
That's okay, though. That's how it all works because Crown Jewel was full of bangers.
Yeah, it was.
Bangarang.
It was so good. Oh, and Hangman. We'll get to Actually, let me talk about that. Freaking Logan Paul hit the buckshot lariat, so that was pretty dope. He hit a lot better than other people would.
Just say CM Punk.
Yeah, CM Punk. Yeah, CM Punk. Yeah, he did better than Hanger himself. Like, no joke. That's not a shot at AEW or Hangman because I love the guy, but like Logan Paul pulled it off. I think the best stuff I've seen, at least.
It really was.
It was so cool.
I can't believe I would say this, but I'd say he performed it better than Adam Page did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So cool.
That's absolutely insane. I just can't believe that actually went down like that.
Then he hit the one lucky punch. Then he hit the Superman punch, and I legit thought it was over. I was like, yo, no way he's about to win.
They played that very well to make it look like that's how Roman Reigns would lose both his championships. But, of course, going in, we knew that Roman was going to win. However, I'm just glad that in these matches, we know he's going to win, but in those matches, we actually have moments where we're like, wait, holy shit, could he actually lose right here?
Which is great because it's building it to the person who's going to beat him down the road, which is going to be amazing.
I'll be honest. There was a time I think to myself it could be Cody Rhodes, but then there was a time we also thought it was going to be freaking Drew McIntyre.
Yep, and he beat Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, then I remember I was asking myself, where do we go from here?
Yeah, where do we go from here? Logan Paul.
For this case, I know Roman's going into WrestleMania as champion. That's already a guarantee.
Yep.
And I'm honestly cool with it.
As long as he loses at WrestleMania, I'm fine with it.
Yeah. So, I always wonder, what is honestly going to be like the big moment where Roman Reigns realizes he's in over his head?
Probably around the build-up to Mania. He's going to realize it. Or probably after, the Royal Rumble, he's going to realize it. He'll probably defend the freaking thing in the chamber. And then he's going to come out the night on Raw and be like, well, there's nobody left. If you smell, all that kind of stuff. He's going to come out and then Code Man, who I predict will win the Royal Rumble or whatever, he probably will come out. And then here's my early prediction for WrestleMania. This might not happen, but here's my early prediction. Night 1, Code Man. Night 2, The Rock. That's what I think is going to happen. Early predictions for WrestleMania. That's my early prediction.
If you want to have Roman Reigns be able to take on Cody Rhodes and The Rock, that actually, in my opinion, would be the best way to do it. I mean, he'd lose to Cody Rhodes on night 1, but regains his momentum by defeating The Rock on night 2 because one of them's fighting to become champion, the other is fighting to become the tribal chief.
Yes, sir.
The Rocky himself even said, I'm the tribal chief.
Yeah, he's the table.
Technically, Logan Paul's the table. He said so himself.
Well, then if he's the table, then who's the chairs? See?
Jake Paul and his impulsive podcast crew?
Well, they got the living crap beaten out of them, so... I thought that was... No joke, I thought those was just random people. I was like, yo, why are they beating it like random strangers? What the heck?
And then I had realized, those are his co-hosts from his Impulsive podcast, and I was actually amazed that they were allowed to be getting their asses kicked. I was like, oh, okay.
They took those shots, too. I was like, oof.
I also have a prediction as well.
What you got?
Royal Rumble, Roman Reigns to defend against KSI.
If he's not busy, you know what, why not? Or Mr. Beast.
I can't believe KSI, that's understandable, but Mr. Beast was referenced?
Yeah, he wrestled Mr. Beast, dude.
I'm already predicting Mr. Beast. He's already a kick-ass YouTuber, by the way.
Yep.
But I'm predicting that Mr. Beast at one point is going to do a last to leave challenge, but it's last to leave wrestling ring.
There you go.
Because of he's done stuff in the SoFi Stadium already for his challenges and his performances, but
Yep.
WrestleMania's gonna be in the SoFi Stadium. I wouldn't be shocked if they had him in there in some sort of capacity as a guest.
Hey, you never know. Triple H probably gonna put some of these guys in the ring, and I'm actually fine with it. Please put Bad Bunny in the ring. Please put Bad Bunny in the ring. Please. Anyway.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I would like that very much. But I will say that Roman Reigns, I like how he was like taunting all those YouTubers, but while he was being ambushed, Logan Paul was like, "No, not true. We coming, baby."
Exactly.
And I will also say,
can we say the frog splash to the table was freaking sick?
Yeah, I'm glad you took a video of that. I watched that video. Looked like almost like a POV shot. Huh?
Dude, for real.
I almost felt like I was there. Imagine, we should have watched that in VR.
Dude.
That would have been fucking freaked out. I was like, ah!
Seriously.
So, in essence, when that happened, I honestly think that it was cool that there was interference, but none of them touched the legal competitors. So Roman Reigns won fair and square.
Yeah, Roman beat Logan clean. Oh yeah, Jake Paul came out to It's Everyday Bros. That was.
That's what that was.
Yeah, that's what that was. It was Everyday Bro.
Well, unfortunately, Jake Paul was probably not trained enough to pull back his punches.
Exactly. Because let's be fair, the Paul brothers would beat the living crap out of half the locker room. So
they would, yeah.
That's true. Don't deny it.
Yeah, they absolutely would. Mm-hmm. Jake Paul, I'll be honest, still not that much into him yet, but that might change in the future.
No, screw him. Like, no, that's gonna be a while for me as well.
But Logan almost got the dub as well.
Yeah, he hit a frog splash in the ring. That was pretty cool. I thought he was gonna win. One, two, course, Roman kicked out.
He did a crossbody on the outside to both the Usos, and that was awesome.
Then he got in the ring, got speared, Superman punch, and that was it. 1, 2, 3.
I'd like how Solo Sikoa actually got his own entrance, too.
Yeah, everyone got their own entrance. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I'll be honest, Solo looked like a badass heading coming down to the ring with that music.
A little loose. Everyone loves a little loose.
And here's the thing. This might just be me, but in a way, Solo Sikoa's music sounds like a faster-paced version of Samoa Joe's music. Dun, 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 dun.
Yep.
Sounds almost like the same tuba.
Oh, yeah, for real.
But yeah, Roman got the win. But what I liked about the storytelling of this is Roman looked scared shitless after he won.
Oh, yeah, and he was hugging his titles and crying. It was kind of cool.
Because he almost lost it.
Yep.
He didn't even look like that when he beat Drew McIntyre or Brock Lesnar. Nope.
Exactly.
He looked scared out of his mind that a YouTuber almost took the titles away from him. In my opinion, Logan was closer than Drew was to winning the title.
Yeah, he was.
And that's amazing. But by the way, we mentioned before, there's one thing we also wanted to mention, and that was the understanding of why we said our Logan Paul or Jake Paul or something like that competing at some like SummerSlam. That's because we know Logan is not going to make it to WrestleMania. That's unfortunate.
No, Logan is hurt.
He tore his ACL, MCL, and meniscus, the same injury that happened to Seth Rollins, literally almost on that same exact day in 2015.
Yeah.
That's scary. And we all know how long Seth was out. He was out 9 months or something like that. I don't know.
9 months, yeah.
I don't know how long it was, but it was up to May. So actually, no, it was like 7, 8 months, something like that. One of those two.
Yeah, because he returned to Extreme Rules.
Yeah, so
2016.
A lot of people recover differently and everything, but let's be honest, it's an ACL, MCL, and meniscus tear. I understand some people recover differently, but the injuries itself, they usually recover itself around the same time, especially if you're in competitive sports like that.
Oh yeah, bro.
More recently, I actually rewatched that WWE 24 documentary where Seth Rollins was recovering from that injury.
I did.
Yep, and I saw that, and I was like, yeah, that recovery process, it's gotta suck, honestly, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I even went ahead and I rewatched that 24 documentary on Finn Balor's recovery.
We don't, one.
That was actually a pretty good doc, though. I would give you that. WWE should bring back those documentaries again.
Yeah, why'd you stop with the 24 specials?
The 24 specials were honestly
favorites.
awesome because, you hear different wrestlers' stories from their perspectives and the perspectives of others, too. They stopped them ever since they launched with Peacock, and they just occasionally did one for a pay-per-view, and that's it.
Exactly.
And that's honestly a shame because I would have loved to have heard more stories. Like, I would have loved to hear, like, Bianca Belair or something like that.
Or Cody.
Cody Rhodes, I think we're probably going to get that no matter what.
Oh, yeah, probably.
I will say 2020 was an amazing time for those documentaries of The Undertaker, especially from the Paul Bearer one to the Brothers of Destruction. I love the Paul Bearer documentary.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad that, they recorded, like, his interview in 2011 before he passed away, so we got to hear everything from his words.
Mm-hmm.
So that made it awesome. But personally, I really think there should be a WWE 24 documentary on Roman Reigns as the Tribal Chief.
Oh, yeah.
Should start it off by, the pandemic and everything and why he was gone up until the moment he loses the titles. Because I'll be honest, I did read about something. This ain't confirmed news, but this is one of the most likely scenarios that he's not full-time right now because there will come a time where he physically cannot do this that much anymore, and that's because of his leukemia battles.
Mm.
And I understand that situation completely, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Because here's the thing. He's not cancer-free. It's just put in remission, which means at some point in his life, the cancer is probably going to come back.
Yep.
I still remember 2018 when he announced he had cancer. That I was crying.
Yep.
Because, well, when it comes to somebody having cancer, it doesn't matter if you like him or you hate him. And at that time, everybody hated him because, it was the big dog Roman Reigns taking over everything. But even his haters were in tears. Because this is legitimate and everything. Huh?
Yeah, dog.
So that's why I'm hoping that we enjoy the whole thing with the bloodline while we still can.
Plus, Roman's going to go and do his own thing, too, so.
Yeah. I think he's in part-time right now because, there's only a matter of time before his leukemia would catch up to him again.
Possibility.
So, he's also a major attraction, which is also a good thing.
He is.
But Roman Reigns and Logan Paul absolutely nailed it. And I'm so proud of both of them.
Match your candidate, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I give that 5 stars.
Yeah, me too, dude. No joke.
Well, folks, that culminates our review on Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia, and it was absolutely amazing. I heard that their next Saudi Arabia trip could potentially be in May of 2023 because, well, the Elimination Chamber is going to be in Montreal, Canada.
Yep.
Which, by the way, folks, I'm going to be attending.
There you go.
I'm attending my first.
Going to it.
I'm attending my first Elimination Chamber event at last, followed by my 5th WrestleMania.
About freaking time, dude.
About freaking time, indeed. I also like how, folks, our fellow loser, Rester Ryan, first of all, he's doing great. He is going to be at the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
Because it's in San Antonio, Texas, right around where he's at. So.
Yep.
Congratulations, Texas. Man, I miss Dallas, and I miss hanging out with him and Connor.
There you go.
And our temporary heel Balor, TJ.
There you go.
That's actually funny. But folks,
oh, hell yeah.
Next week's podcast should be hopefully fun because we're going to be predicting AEW Full Gear. There's already 9 matches official on the card, and I'm pretty sure more will come. That's why we're going to wait until
9 days. I had to do that.
We're technically okay. Yeah, we actually are 9 days away, but yeah. We're going to wait till record the podcast on that following Thursday, so we're going to watch Dynamite to see if any other matches are made official so that we don't miss anything, because when we predicted All Out, I don't think we even talked about half the matches that were made official.
Nah.
Because they were just put on the spot.
Yeah, bro.
But even then, we still rushed through them because there was literally nothing to talk about.
Exactly.
This time, it might be different. There's a number of matches to talk about. So, fingers crossed, folks.
Some that look great, some that don't look great. Some that look amazing, some that don't look amazing. You'll just find out next week.
All right, Heel Balor, you know what to do.
Oh, heck yeah, dog. We are the losers. This is our freaking lounge. We'll see you next week.